Hey everybody, this is Dalstone here. Today, we're going to see what I'm going to do today. I know for a fact that this is the environment that I'm going to be putting my car in right now. And I want to just clean it up a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan of how it looks currently. So let me just give you this is kind of the reference that I have. This is kind of the shot that I want to have, and I want to kind of have the car kind of in the middle there, framed. And currently this is just not, it's not getting that feeling across, so I'm going to be working on that. And so I just need to quickly, so first off, I don't even know, this looks like, this is an older version of my car, I believe. For now it's fine because it's just the gray block, right? I'm just gray blocking this out right now. So I'm just gonna, I need to kind of go back and take a look at how to like set cameras and stuff like that in Unreal. I'm not gonna waste time doing that here in this video, but I do want to kind of go back and figure that out, learn how to set up cameras so that I can just switch to a camera, just switch to a camera that I've like created or something, and then that way I frame my shot the way that I want to, because right now currently it's just not looking like what I want. Like, this has to be pushed back a lot more. Right now it doesn't look like it's very like there's not that much depth, so I'm gonna have to kind of go and do that. I'm gonna put my grid snap on. I'm gonna put it to 10 so that it actually snaps. Surface snapping, is it actually snapping, or is it this one? Scaling, set the position, grip snap. Okay, let's go 100. There we go. And I'm just gonna push this back until I feel like it's closer to what, so that to me feels like what the image that I have looks like. So I'm gonna keep it at that. I'm going to rotate this car because in a parking lot usually it should be like, you know, if you had two vehicles, control W, yeah, so the control W is duplicating. So yeah, so you should comfortably be able to have two cars side by side, so that looks about right. And then you should be able to have car parking comfortably inside here, so you should be able to park, it looks like you should be able to park one, two, three cars. So already these pillars are not the right length, so if you should be able to park 3 cars, I'm just gonna do this, just gonna duplicate that, and I'm gonna duplicate another one. There you go. So we should be able to have 3 cars. So I'm just going to delete. And so let's move these 3 cars. Control W to duplicate. Control W to duplicate. Are these on the grid? Yep, these are on the grid. I'm going to delete this pillar here. So that's starting to look a little bit more realistic. Let me look at, so edit, you can duplicate, control W's to duplicate. Just wanted to confirm that in case you wanted to go and do that. So I'm going to go and delete these pillars, or I should be, so I'm going to try and get one side looking correct. So I can see 1, 2, 3, let's do 3 realistically. So I'm looking at my reference here. I can see 3 realistically, but by that point the car is going to be here, and it's going to be blocking, and everything else can kind of be faked a lot more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take these 6 cars. I'm going to control C, control V on top of them, and then I'm going to move down another notch here, right? And then I'm going to move, so these two pillars here, I'm going to Control C and then Control V to paste. Okay, and I'm going to show you that again. So copying and pasting, just like everything else, just copy, paste, okay? So I'm just going to do that. So now we have this a little bit wider. Actually, when I'm looking at this scene here, it's actually two parked cars back to back. So let's go and do that as well. So I'm going to move this car out. I'm going to take this car, I'm going to rotate with rotate is here, which is E. Okay, I'm going to rotate. I have snapping on with to 10 degrees. I personally like 15, so I'm going to keep it at 15, I think. I'm going to bring it back, have it at 15 snapping, and then I'm going to move. So already you can tell that the spacing that I have is not correct when it comes to, so if this car is going to be that pillar there, so let's say that the parked car is going to be there, give it some room, so we need these two pillars here to move to about there. Okay, so that should give us a bit of a better understanding. And so this car in my final shot, I'm hoping is going to be somewhere like that. Right, that's the hope there, is for that final shot to be like that. Now I just need to go and make this scene wider, because if you're looking at the reference here, there's depth going on everywhere, right? So we need to see a driveway, because this looks like this is where the cars are driving through, right? Because you can see that the road here is a lot more wet, and then there's at least another 2 more rows over here. So if we want to get that scale down, we need to move these out a lot more. And again, I'm just trying to block this in so that it feels realistic, right? That is the most important thing for me right now. So I'm just going to remove these cars here, because these aren't instants, they're just copies, which probably means that it's using up a lot of rendering. So I'm just going to save everything that I have currently right now, Control S. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out, so this is the road that people drive in. So this should be 2 cars with, right, comfortably. So Control C, Control V. So that seems about right there. Cars should be pretty comfortable. If I want to be safe, I'll move it down 1 more. And let's move Control C, Control V. Let's move this there. Okay. So we have that going for us. And again, I'm just going to duplicate just so that it's all kind of blocked in, gives us that depth. Okay. So we're going to do the same here. Just going to move these out further out, and I'm going to kind of do the same thing. Take these 2 cars, gonna try and quickly measure and block out. So let's go here, Control V, Control C to duplicate, or to control and then paste. So now we have 2 car lengths. I'm gonna take those there. I'm going to take all these, snap here, snap again. Okay, so now this should start to give us a lot more, a better idea of what our space is going to look like. Alright, using your grids, snapping is like key here. Okay. So we can snap everything to a decent length. So that gives us a little bit more depth. I like that. So I'm going to do the same for the ground as well. There we go. Just duplicating. Control C, Control V to duplicate. Control and paste, essentially. I'm gonna add this one. Control C, Control V. Move, and we'll move it out that way. Okay. So now we gotta do that for the roof, or for the ceiling. So we're just gonna Control C, Control V, move these out. Now these are Z fighting? Are these Z fighting? Yeah, it looks like it is. So let's figure out what's going on here. Oh no, it's just the ground. It's Z fighting with the ground. So that's fine. Gonna copy and paste these ones as well. And we'll just shift that over. And let's close this up quickly for a nice quick block out of our scene. I wanted it to keep this relatively small, but I think that if I'm smart with the way that I create my assets and I build things pretty modularly in pieces, I should be able to get this environment looking pretty good without too much of extra effort. So we'll see. Now this grid, let me see if I can turn off the grid, because the grid is Z fighting and it's starting to drive me crazy. So I'm just gonna move these out. So I probably can just move these two pieces and then connect it to the wall at the end there. And then I'm going to move that there. Control V. Move that down a little bit more. There we go. Alright. So now that's our space. Now I'm going to build the lights. So sorry if this takes a little bit long. So let's see here. So let's apply the new lighting, and things should look a little bit dark. Now I don't know why. Now again, it might be lighting quality is at preview right now. If I go to medium and I build this out, we'll see how this looks. Again, I need to really refresh myself when it comes to Unreal lighting. It's been a really long time since I've done Unreal lighting to get the right kind of quality and stuff like that, because obviously this being black and then this being white doesn't really make too much sense. So let's quickly see what we're gonna get here. So there's a bunch of overlapping, which is correct. Like, why is this white? You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why this is white? Why this is getting white? So yeah, it's just a lot of questions here that I don't fully understand just yet, and I'll try and get to those when I can. But I think right now, even this doesn't feel correct. I feel like this still doesn't feel right. Like it still feels very, very enclosed. I feel like this wall, I probably shouldn't even see inside the frame. And I feel that, so this is that. Now let's try and rotate. Control C, Control V. Let's get this kind of rotating here the right way. I'm gonna make 2 more rows of parking. Just like that. Let me see here. So I think this might be good. And then again, because these are a bit more further out, this is where I can start faking things a bit more. Because even from here, you're not really seeing it. I feel that this needs to be pushed out even more. Maybe that far. To give it that depth. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. Something like that looks good. So let's do one more of these bad boys. Control C, Control V. And then let's snap these walls over here. And I think this might start to look more like an underground parking lot. Especially if I just bring these ones now to about there. And let's start copying these out. And I say we just snap these all to the grid. Make it all nice and purty. And I'm just going to copy this wall here. Bring it over, snap it, and let's enclose this because I feel like this is probably the right length now. So let's see. And if I move these down like that, I'm actually going to move this wall so it snaps as well. Just make this all nice and dandy. So this is obviously a very big environment at this point, but again, if I'm just reusing a bunch of assets, it's not going to be too bad. And I just have to be smart with it, you know. One shot, one shot, right? Nothing too crazy. As long as I'm not doing multiple shots and views, should be fine. It's gonna be one shot inside the environment, and then everything is going to be marmoset. Like showing off the car will be in marmoset. Maybe I'll show off the breakdown of all the pieces that I'm using in this modular scene in Unreal. But any assets, I'll probably just be showing it in marmoset. I think it's probably going to be a safe bet here. And okay, so let's go. Now I don't even know what's what. Okay, is this a ceiling? Yep, this is a ceiling. So it's Control C, Control V. There we go. So now we have everything enclosed, and currently this still feels like there's not that much depth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of these, and I'm going to Control C, and I'm going to start making them I mean, I can probably just keep them the way that they are. Hold on. Probably just keep them the way that they are. Again, now I'm just free-handing a lot of this. Just to fake depth at this point. Right? So now if I save this quickly, and I'm going to build the lights. I actually have this as build medium quality, which is probably not a good idea. I probably should have had this set to what's that called? I should have set this to my lights as preview quality. And then cinematics, I need to figure this out. I'll figure it out on my own time. But yeah, now at least it looks like there is more to it. And I feel that I need to take these pillars here, and I'm going to just start duplicating. Like that, to kind of just fake it a bit more, right? So now if I go back and I look at this, it starts to look more like it. Obviously the lighting right now is just blah, so I gotta go back in and do some lighting work. Obviously right now, like a lot of this stuff is looking pretty bleak, so maybe I just kind of block in a couple of lights here, just so that it doesn't look so bad. And then I'm sure there's lots of like post effects stuff that I should be doing with the lighting. And like I said, I'll be doing some research on that behind the scenes. I don't want to bore you guys with this stuff. Control C, Control V, and then when I start to light, after learning a bunch of stuff, I'll make sure that I go through the stuff that I've learned, and etc, etc. So I'm just going to select all these lights, and I'm going to duplicate them around. And I'm sorry guys, again, I mean today I just revisited this scene. I just opened it up and I was just like, this scene just doesn't look right. And mostly because it just felt way too small. So I wanted to go back and just quickly, roughly fix it up just a little bit. Alright, so I'm just gonna build again. Build lighting only. And I didn't want to turn on my webcam today because it's like crazy hot right now. Like I'm sweating like nuts, so I'm just wearing a tank top, and I just don't, I don't know, I just feel like it might be unprofessional having just a tank top on. So again, it's still doing a bunch of weird like lighting stuff, right? Like I don't get why I'm getting this weird white light going on. So I'm gonna have to figure that out another time, because yeah, like this is just like, why is it lighting like this? So I'll figure it out another time, but I feel that this is definitely a better feel for the parking lot than I had previously. And so we'll go back to this a little bit later. For now, so I've saved everything. So I saved everything, and I want to get back to the car. So with the car, I've gone in, I've made some more progress on it. Right, we've got the sides, the back is looking pretty decent. Now we need to kind of work on the front. And the front for me right now, so I have that as my reference. I'm gonna show you this Camaro reference that I have. So there's a few options, right, for this front part. So there's that one. There's this one. And then there's, let's see, no, that's the same one as the other one. So yeah, so this one seems to be the most popular one. Like this seems to, like I'm looking at a lot of my reference, and if I had to, actually I don't know, it's actually about the same. I'm just skimming through my reference right now on my other monitor, and it's kind of up in the air. So I have a feeling I might go with this one. But right now, if you notice, it looks nothing like that, right? Actually, I had started to modify it so it looks more like this one. So maybe I'm going to stick with this one. So, let's start figuring out how we're going to make this. So let's start off. So I tried like massaging this a little bit more, right, to fit what it needs to be. But I'm feeling like cool. That's awesome that I've done that. But it's time for me to start building this piece separately, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build that piece separately. And so let's start that. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna start with the cube, I think, here, and I'm going to, let's see, what do I want to do here? So I'm gonna start with the cube, and I don't think I'll need the back space here. I will need these faces. And let's start to shape this a little bit more. Let's make sure that the options are correct. I'm going to go to attribute editor. So you can go to here, or you can go Control A, and I'm going to go smooth mesh. Oh no, not smooth mesh. I'm going to go to smooth. Is it smooth mesh? Yeah, smooth mesh. Open subdiv, preserve edges. Okay, make sure that that's set up so that when I UV it, you don't have to do that now, but it's just a good habit to get into. Obviously, it needs to be a little bit thinner, right? I'm just taking a look at this, right? It needs to be a bit thinner, and I'm going to extrude, offset. I'm going to split polygon. So you can do that by clicking on, hold on, I'm in the wrong, modeling, going into edit mesh, and you can do a where is it, split polygon, where are you, split polygon, split polygon, split polygon. Wow, this is really handy, because obviously I haven't done this through the menus in a very long time, which is why now you guys are seeing that I actually don't know where this is. You can either go multi-cut tool, right? So you can either go here, you can go multi-cut tool, and then you can Control Shift and it'll snap to where you want to go. Or you can go select an edge, hold Control, right click, edge ring utilities, and then go to edge ring and split. Okay, so you can do that. That's what I like to do. And I'm going to extrude this face in. So you can either, so I went hold shift, right click, extrude faces, or you can go to here and you can go extrude over there. I'm going to push this in, and then I'm going to go to press 3 for subdiv preview, and obviously I need to crease a bunch of this stuff. So let's start creasing the corners. So I'm gonna hold shift, right click, and I'm gonna go crease tool. Have that selected, middle mouse click, drag. Okay, where is that crease tool? Crease is here as well. Go to mesh tools, go crease. So I'm gonna press 3. Still not what we want. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do the same thing. Mesh tools, crease that, and then I'm also gonna crease the inside loop. Same with so now we have that. Okay. Now this is also curved, so I'm gonna curve this in just like. So I'm gonna move those vertices in just like that. I'm also gonna move this closer to that, and then I'm gonna move this over towards the hole. I'm just gonna scale it just a little bit so that it's we're working in the proper scale, closer to the proper scale. Because back there I was kind of doing things willy-nilly. Right, so let's get this kind of more squared off. There we go. So that it's probably roughly about that size. Okay, so something that I'm also noticing here is that it's super smooth here. So we do need an edge loop. So I'm just gonna go to edges. I'm gonna select the edge that I want to put an edge loop in. I'm going to so again, you can go multi-cut, and you can hold Control and then shift to snap. There you go. And I'm not going to smooth this one. I'm just going to move the vertice out to kind of give you that nice little curve. Right, so I'm just going to go select. Now you kind of see that little curve there. I'm also noticing that this extrudes in again. So I'm just going to extrude here. I'm going to push this in. Alright. And then I'm going to press 3 again, and you notice that this is making some really ugly geometry. So what I need to do is I need to crease this edge. And again, you can go to mesh tools, you can go crease, and press 3. Still not very good. So you're going to select all of this, select these edges as well, and then just middle click, drag to the right, and you'll get that. Now that might be too harsh. We will see, because it is kind of curvy on the edges here. So what we might want to do is we might want to move it, or we might want to go to mesh tools, crease, decrease it a bit, maybe crease it just slightly, and then that way there's like a little curve. But we can adjust that later. For now, we'll keep it as hard. Okay, so we have this going on here. If you look, it's also kind of beveled and curved. Like this is really curvy. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna take these vertices, we're gonna push it up, just like that, and you're gonna notice that that's gonna help us build the silhouette. So we're gonna move the vertices up more. I'm going to take this edge here and maybe adjust it just a tad bit, and this is starting to look pretty slim, so I'm going to move this edge up more to kind of give it a little bit more width. I'm going to select, so this is just me massaging vertices at this point, right? Just kind of make it a little more even, just like that. So now I'm just trying to observe here and take a look. It's coming along, it's looking decent, but I feel like, okay, let's see, I feel like these creases are maybe a little bit too sharp. What we'll do is maybe we'll add some more vertices in there in a second, but for now let's see here, I'm going to take this edge here, crease tool, I'm going to actually decrease the creasing so it gives it a nice smoother look on that edge. I might do the same here too. I'm just going to go crease, decrease it so that now it's a little bit smoother around the edges, and then I might take a look at... I'm just going to go object mode. I'm just going to take a look at this. I feel like I need an edge. No, that might just be a perspective thing. Okay, so for me, I'm just going to go back here. I'm going to take the edges of these corners, and I want to add a little bevel to them, just because I'm noticing that there's a bevel in the image. So something like that will help kind of give it a nice little bevel. I might make 2 segments of it, just like that. So that might help a little bit more. Noticing now these vertices are starting to look really nasty, so I'm just going to go back, crease them a tad bit more so that they don't kind of fall off on each other. And I think these are needing some split geometry here, because this is starting to look... Ooh, nope. Hold on. So let's see here. So I'm just going to crease a few edges just to kind of make it look a little prettier. Just going to crease that edge. My camera keeps clipping right through everything, which is really annoying. So this one, for some reason, did not like this. So I'm just going to delete these vertices if I can. Doesn't look like it's going to let me. I'm going to delete these vertices. I'm gonna multi-cut. So something's going on here. So it's not liking something here. So let me just quickly find out what's going on. The vertices are not behaving. Okay, so it's multi-cut. So if I multi-cut there, multi-cut there, I multi-cut there, and what happens if I go here, close that, go here, close that? It does keep the shape a lot better. Now I just gotta make sure, okay, so those are decent. I'm gonna quickly delete my history. I have mine at Control-Alt-D. You can go to delete by type, delete history, just to keep things a little bit clean. I'm actually gonna save this scene right now before things crash, and then I lose all the work that I just did. Okay, so now that we have this going on, this looks decent. If you look carefully in here, they kind of have like, it's like rounded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few more verts, I believe, into here. So already, oh, I see what's going on. So we have a couple of edges, a couple of n-gons here, and it's just not liking it. So I'm just going to clean that up. Got more than 5-sided faces. That's why things are starting to act a bit wonky. So we're going to add one here. We're going to add one here. What we're going to do is we're going to make this cylinder kind of shape inside. So I'm going to take these 2 vertices and I'm going to scale them inwards. Okay. So it's going to start to look like that, which is exactly what we want. And then I'm going to actually, looking at this image, I'm noticing that this kind of moves, this is actually in more. So I'm going to take these vertices here, and I'm going to move them in more. So that's more like, actually, not too much, just a little bit there. Alright, and then now this just needs a re-massaging. So I'm just going to re-massage a couple of vertices so that things are nice and straight, right? Because right now it's not anymore. So we're going to just massage a couple of these verts here. those out. Oh, that's probably why it's looking kind of awkward here. So let's just take these, move them in. There you go. Delete history. Move this in a little bit more, and then yeah, and then we have essentially this piece. And now I have to massage my car to fit this. To make it fit this piece. So this is going to be something like that. Gonna move some more massaging of vertices. Nothing new for a modeler. Just moving the vertices up and down. Going to wireframe mode just to kind of select the proper verts. Just gonna move that vertice in more. Move this vertice in more like that. So right now it's pinching like crazy, which I'm assuming it's probably because of this vertice here. It's kind of a little bit wonky. And okay, let's see here. Yep, so there we go. I need to move this vertice up more. Need to move this vertice out more. And this vertice out more. It's probably because of this pinching that's going on, yeah. So I just need to move this like that a little bit more. And it's because this is looking a lot more pinched than it originally is. It's definitely not liking that, but something like that. Alright, that's what it's supposed to look like. It's got this nice little thing going on for it now. Obviously I still need to clean this up quite a bit. But that's kind of the general idea there. That's the general idea. Still have a vertice that's just crashing through everything. That's probably not helping. So I'm just going to move that back a bit more. And then I have one more vertice right here. That's definitely not helping. And I'm going to move it back in. And then this one, move it up like that. And that should make things a little bit cleaner and nicer to work with. So now I have this little piece there kind of bulging in, and then I need to work on making a nice line here, a nice line kind of going through here. So we'll work on that probably next time. For now I'm kind of running out of energy, guys. I'm sorry, my voice is running out. Been talking non-stop for 45 minutes, so I'm gonna probably just continue working on this car, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As usual, check out timestamps and stuff like that. See you guys next time.